Good morning, children, and welcome to my new class. So, here today, as you remember, that we had finished the explanation of the poem Where the Mind is Without Fear by Rabindranath Tagore. Now, here in this poem, we have already understood what the poet wants to tell us because this is the time period when the people were not free. They were not free physically, they were not free mentally. There was a pressure on them, and the pressure included certain different kinds of things which were imposed upon them. Like there was a lot of discrimination on the basis of caste and creed. Then there was discrimination on the basis of gender. Some traditions were followed blindly, meaningless things were being followed. So let us see and try to solve these. Here, understanding the poem, look at the first one. What are the different qualities of the heaven of freedom which the speaker prays for? Now, why is he calling it a heaven of freedom? Because heaven is always a place where you live happily, you don't have to be pressurized, you live according to your own terms and conditions, and where there is a lot of happiness without any kind of foundations. So, what kind of a heaven of freedom does he pray for? Four of them are mentioned here. You have to mention four others. Now, there are so many things which have been mentioned here. Look at the first one. The mind is fearless. Obviously, this is the very first line, it tells us about it. People have confidence and a sense of pride in themselves. It means the head is held high. This is what we discussed. Knowledge is available to all, not just to some. Like how I told you that knowledge was said to be a provision only for the people who belong to upper caste. Knowledge is available to all, not just to some. There is no division, discrimination, or enmity. Enmity means when you are not friends with somebody, between groups, sections of society, or nations. So, these are the four main key points which they have told us, and the other 4 points are to be mentioned by us. So, here, if you feel that there is any point other than what I am telling you, you are most welcome to mention it here. The next point could be meaningless traditions are not to be followed. Now, this is one important thing. Meaningless traditions are not to be followed. The next point could be people have the ability to think clearly. People should be given a chance to think clearly. Continuous efforts are made for perfection. Yes, we should make continuous efforts for perfection. See, we are not perfect in doing all the things. So, we should strive that we do the things perfectly. And the last point could be truth is spoken. Everything should be based on truth. So, I hope this is clear to you. If there is any other point which you feel you can write here, you are most welcome to write it. Now look at the second part. Consider the contrast between a clear stream and a dreary desert. Now let us see here what is like a clear stream. So clear stream actually refers to the thinking of people. Thinking of people. You can also write thinking and reasoning by the people. What is like dreary desert? So, what is like dreary desert? Habits. What happens to a clear stream when it runs into a desert? So, the answer is it is lost. It is lost. D part. What tends to weaken and destroy our reasoning ability? So, dead habits. The answer should be dead habits. I hope this is clear to you. Now, these are the questions which are to be done in the book itself. You need not write them separately in any notebook because these are just one word answers. So, can be done very clearly in the book itself. Moving on to the questions which are to be written by you. Now, look at the third one. Is the heaven of freedom a place to rest from effort, or is it a place of continuous or tireless effort? Effort to achieve what? Now we have read it already that the heaven of freedom is not a place to rest. So here what can we write? The heaven of freedom is a place of continuous effort. You can pick up the lines from here, simply from here. The heaven of freedom, then from here, is a place of continuous effort. The first part. Now, effort to achieve perfection. So, you can simply, in place of what, you can write perfection. Fourth one. Does the mind also move in the heaven continuously in some direction? What does it move towards? So we can write yes. You will, in place of does, you can write yes. The mind also moves in that heaven continuously. Then here, in some direction can be removed and you can write towards clear thinking and perfection. So the answer would become yes, comma, the mind also moves in that heaven continuously towards clear thinking and perfection. So I hope this is clear to you. The third and the fourth one are to be done, to be written by you, the way I have told you. And the questions which we discussed earlier, that is, the first and the second part are to be done in the book itself. So I hope this is clear to you all and you'll be able to complete it neatly in your books and in your notebook. So have a nice day and keep learning.